And the big birthday party for the Statue of Liberty gets underway in just a few hours. The big moment will come when President Reagan throws the switch to relight the statue. They've been rehearsing that all week, and the new look promises to be spectacular. Our national correspondent Kevin Coakley says the credit goes to a group of GE scientists who've had lots of practice by lighting downtown Cleveland.
And a look at the glorious festival in New York Harbor. Now, here is CBS News correspondent Charlie Rose.
Good morning and a happy 4th of July. The hours to now have been filled with glorious pageant. The Lady of Liberty in New York has been rededicated, restored, and shines brightly in the night. On our broadcast this morning, we consider liberty with some people for whom the word is not an abstract concept.
From CBS News in Washington, this is the CBS News Nightwatch. And here again is correspondent Charlie Rose.
Welcome back to the special 4th of July edition of Nightwatch. The festivities got off to a red, white, and blue start Thursday evening. We'll show you some of those highlights in just a moment. But first, we take note of the charge that some people say blacks and other minorities America has been waiting for, finally got underway Thursday night in New York City. It was the beginning of one of the biggest celebrations this country has ever seen, all of it marking the 100th birthday of the Statue of Liberty. Bob Schieffer was at the opening ceremonies.
Well, it was quite a night after quite a day. There really was electricity in the air today. You could sense it. I sensed it this morning coming from Washington on that airplane. And the people who ride that airplane between Washington and New York are a fairly blasé bunch, take things pretty much in stride. But when the pilot told us we were over New York Harbor this morning, people were leaning up out of their seats in the aircraft to look out the windows to see the Statue of Liberty and to see all of the boats down in the New York Harbor. Well, tonight, what a night it was, and here's just a part of it.
Well, tonight concludes a four-year labor of love. 4 years ago, President Reagan wisely chose to place the job of saving America's most sacred symbol in the hands of the American people themselves. And the people responded from their hearts and from their pocketbooks. I'm proud to announce that just in time for this celebration tonight, we have surpassed our goal of $265 million. Now that's a huge number for a private fundraising effort. But more important than how much is from whom. And the answer to that is from everybody.
Now, it is my honor and privilege to ask each of you who seek citizenship to raise your right hand and on this Bible repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath that I renounce all allegiance and fidelity
While we applaud those immigrants who stand out, whose contributions are easily discerned, we know that America's heroes are also those whose names are remembered by only a few. Many of them passed through this harbor, went by this lady, looked up at her torch, which we light tonight in their honor. They were the men and women who labored all their lives so that their children would be well-fed, clothed, and educated. The families that went through great hardship yet kept their honor, their dignity, and their faith in God. They passed on to their children those values that define civilization and are the prerequisites of human progress. They worked in our factories, on ships and railroads, in stores, and on road construction crews. They were teachers, lumberjacks, seamstresses, and journalists. They came from every land. What was it that tied these profoundly different people together? What was it that made them not a gathering of individuals, but a nation? That bond that held them together as it holds us together tonight, that bond that has stood every test and travail, is found deep in our national consciousness. and abiding love of liberty. We hold it high tonight for the world to see, a beacon of hope, a light unto the nations. And so, with joy and celebration, and with a prayer that this lamp shall never be extinguished, I ask that you all join me in this symbolic act of faith, this lighting of Miss Liberty's torch.
Well, now, this is what I call a party.
Well, it really was quite a night and quite a day, and that was just a part of it. Charlie?
Our thanks to Bob Schieffer for his coverage of the opening ceremonies of Liberty Weekend. When Night Watch continues, we'll be speaking with the mayor of Atlanta, Andrew Young.